Hello everybody, welcome to the stream. I'm glad you are all here with me. Hope you're all doing well. Just want to give a great shout out to all the people that's here in chat. Thank you for coming. Again, thank you for all my Patreon supporters, all my Patreon members and YouTube members. You guys are awesome. Thank you all for being here, and just thank you for being here in other words. So just hit that like button and share button so we can get it out to a larger audience. Tonight's topic is gravity. What exactly is gravity? Well, as you've heard it before by Neil deGrasse Tyson, we don't know. So that's about it. So I guess we can end the stream right here. But no, we're not going to do that. I think we can go on further and just see. I found some videos and stuff which is, I think, quite interesting, based in general relativity and showing why there is no gravity on Earth actually, based on general relativity. Let's see what the topic says tonight. Let me first just get to that video. I think we'll start with Neil deGrasse Tyson first, yeah. Okay, so after 38 minutes, 15 votes. What is gravity? I have no idea, 33%. I know, let me tell you, 27%. Gravity? What's that? 40%. So the 27%, the people that says I know, tell me, would you guys be able to please tell me? It is Flat Sabbath, heavy topic. Yeah, it's a heavy topic, Flat Sabbath. Because remember, gravity is actually gravitas. It means to have weight. It's the previous Latin word, and that's where they took it from, to have weight. Yeah, so it's just actually them stealing words to have a religious belief. Okay. I thought we can start with Tyson, because we love how Tyson works. You guys ready? Let's do this.
Why do things fall down when you drop them?
Well, we did already answer that before. Relative density disequilibrium. Very simple. The phone is denser than the air around it. He picked up the phone. It's further away from the ground, so it's got more potential energy the higher you go up. Simple as that. And it cannot support it, so it falls back to the ground. You put energy into a system, it has to be released. Remember first law of thermodynamics? Energy cannot be created or destroyed. It can only be transformed or transferred. That is it. So when he picked up the phone, he put potential energy into the phone. The air around it is less dense, so it cannot support it. Now, why would it go down and not up? Well, because you've already put the energy into the system. Now, when you let it go, that energy has to be transferred or transformed into kinetic energy. That's what happens. Brilliant. So that's why it doesn't go up, it goes down. Yeah, so it's nonsensical to think it should go up if you've already put the energy into the system. Very simple stuff. Okay, let's carry on.
When you jump up, why do you land on the ground?
Why do you land on the ground when you jump up? The same reason I just told you with the cell phone, guys.
Instead of floating off into space.
Hey Jeff, guess it. Good to see you. Good to see everybody here. Yes, space travel is fake. Why do you not fall up into space? Because you are already begging the question, having a belief it will be into space. Hey, Max65, good to see you. Tony McFlatty, gravity or gravity? Yeah, it's gravity. So yeah, it's simple stuff, guys. The reason he says why you think you would not fall into space is already you having the assumption that you require to hold you down to the ground, or you would fling off into space. That is, how can I put it, insane. Yeah, it's just, there's no other word for it. You don't need to worry if you're gonna fly into space or not. You don't need gravity because it doesn't exist. It's not a force. There is no gravity on Earth. John Watson, gravity is a mass causation disturbance in the ether. Shh, don't let Watson tell you. They're gonna come here and try and defend it. Well, actually they won't, because they don't defend the ether anymore. They just speak about it in their chambers, and that's about it. Yeah, so what is gravity? 17 votes. I have no idea. 29%. I know. Let me tell you, 29%. Gravity, what's that? 41%. So yeah, it's very simple. I just want to ask the guys that did type I know, let me tell you, keep to your end of the statement. You said you know, so tell us. Would you be able to tell us in chat what is gravity? Get going. Thank you.
Of the four fundamental forces of nature, gravity is the most intuitive one.
Yeah, it's the four fundamental forces of nature. It's the weak force, remember?
We experience gravity every second of our lives, so it makes sense that our brains are evolutionarily equipped to
And I even have to push in their evolutionary equipped. Pushing evolution into this as well. So far, we have gone in 32 seconds. They said a phone falls because of something that's a force that's not a force. You would land on the ground and jumping because you will fly off into space. And your brain is evolving. No, that doesn't sound like a belief system at all. No.
intuitively grasp the effects of gravity.
Effects of gravity. But what is gravity? Where do we observe the so-called effects of gravity? Please do tell us.
At least here on Earth. But what is gravity exactly?
Yeah, exactly my question. What is gravity exactly? Pampaslav, so space isn't real? No. All objects behave in the same space as they do on Earth. No, space is not as you've been told, Pampalas. Space is so-called fake. Tony McFly, gravity is mass attractive mass. Cavendish, have you ever heard of it? Cavendish. Hi, Fantasy First, good to see you. Glad you could make it. Let's carry on.
How does this mysterious force work and affect the fabric of space-time?
Okay, first of all, it's not a force, so it's already a false statement, and affect the fabric of space-time. Space-time is a man-made concept based in the fourth dimension, which we cannot go to. It's only a mathematical-based concept. We live in three-dimensional reality, therefore we cannot observe in four dimensions.
Why does it affect the very nature of the universe itself? Is the question why even a good scientific question?
Why is a good question, but first you have to tell us what is gravity. Remember, you guys are trying to explain to us what gravity is. So, not why, you're supposed to tell us what gravity is.
Science can describe how gravity works, but can they describe why it works?
I thought you're supposed to tell us what gravity is, not why it works or how it works. You're supposed to tell us what it is. You first need to say what it is before you can actually describe those things, by the way.
So this is the how-why duality here. And in science, if we can describe how something works and predict its future behavior, we claim to understand it and we move on.
Is that it? Okay. So in other words, you have your observation, you have your hypothesis, you do your predictions, you do your experiment. It is now validated, and you've proven it, so you move on. That's practically what he just said, guys. Yeah, when they invented the clock, how did they know what time it was? Yeah, that's the funny thing. Even though when they invented the clock, for the time, they said it was based on the sun in the sky with the seasons and the times. And who put that suns and seasons there? God. So in other words, even the so-called atheists and so everybody that doesn't believe God is validating God, because every time you use a watch, you are saying, this is a remembrance of God putting times and seasons for us. Yeah, interesting stuff, eh? Gas balls are light in a vacuum. That's what they are told.
You can ask deeper questions about it. Why is there gravity? What is the meaning? What is the purpose? And go ahead, but I'm good with what I've done, and I can land a spacecraft on Mars.
No, Neil, smoke in the grass. You can't learn anything on Mars because you cannot get to space. It is a natural violation of thermodynamics. The second law of thermodynamics, the entropy law. You guys are claiming Earth to be an open system. Hello? So if it was an open system, the air we breathe would not be here. We would all be dead. In other words, you would not be able to survive to build that thing to send it to space. Now, if it was a closed system, that could work, but you have a problem because it means you not going to be able to get out of the system unless you have doors or something to open and close it quickly. Yeah, into Mars, Two Wolves, good to see you. Very simple stuff. But then again, he is appealing to the audience like the Globers that don't actually understand that gravity is not a force. And according to Physics 101, gravity has no effect on the pressure, on the direction of gas. Gas always moves in all directions constantly. It only changes direction when it collides with something else. That's it. Moves faster when it gets heated, moves slower when it gets colder. But how does it change direction? When it hits against some other surface. That's how gas pressure works. We have gas pressure gradient in a container. Why? Because if we did not have containment, we would not have gas pressure to have the gas pressure gradients.
Inside of a crater in a hole-in-one using my understanding of gravity, so I'm pretty good with it. So I'm not distracted by the more philosophical side of that.
Oh, look how much. Remember, guys, this is Helios, the sun god. Oh, yeah. Gravity was created in the first few microseconds of the Big Bang, when there wasn't any mass, just energy. So they say, yeah, it was some kind of dense matter that all of a sudden, for no reason whatsoever, just exploded into everything. Funny thing is, though, when the explosion happens, it usually goes out, it diverges. What is everything showing in here? It all coalesced to make spheres everywhere. And apparently, remember, gravity is supposed to be such a weak force that's not a force. How did something that didn't really have mass, because it's in little pieces of shards, all of a sudden coalesce to each other to make this big mass? It cannot. Hey, who knows? Good to see you. Glad you could make it. Yeah, I think we're going to go and look at some spacewalk later, guys.
Why does it work?
Have you guys realized we've been in 1 minute 40 seconds about, and the mysterious force of gravity explained by Neil deGrasse. They were supposed to tell us what gravity is. We still haven't got what gravity is. Jolly Man, good to see you. The True Love. Lowlands at the Houghton Mars Project, Devon Island, Northern Greenland, here on Earth. Penguins and mushrooms is a space vacuum. Hi Jeff. Yeah, Blago. So if you don't know what stars are, they must not exist. That's the level of Flatzoid argument against the grid. Blago, yeah, Jeff and I are two different people, and nuclear fusion still requires a lot of energy, and if it's in a vacuum, you're gonna have a bit of a problem. Yeah, because it still has oxygen there, you know, burning oxygen, even though it's got nuclear fusion.
Gravity is a natural phenomenon by which all things with mass or energy, including planets, stars, galaxies, and even light, gravitate toward one another.
Do they now? Do we see this happening? Anybody in chat, have you guys observed gravitation towards one another where you look at stuff?
Modern work on gravitational theory began with the work of Galileo Galilei in the late 16th and early 17th centuries. In his famous experiment dropping balls from the Tower of Pisa.
Yeah, he dropped two balls from the Tower of Pisa, guys, so they can work out that there's a gravitational acceleration.
And later, with careful measurements of balls rolling down inclines, Galileo...
Sorry guys, I just want to go and mute my Skype because Neil Constantino doesn't stop manage group.
I was just going to say, I'm getting sick on him as well.
Yeah, and he doesn't stop. Okay, let me try tell you
And,
guys about this.
how do you turn them off then?
I'm trying to figure that out quickly. Because I don't want to be rude and tell him to shut up.
He's telling him to get in your chat.
No, they're probably gonna go on ball buses starting now. There we go. I've turned the notifications off. Okay. There we go. Sorry about that, guys. How rude. Thank you, Neil. Thank you. Just didn't want to stop. YouTube, thank you for being here. Good to see you. Yeah, we never landed on the moon, as the moon is plasma. Oh, by the way, guys, I made the plasma moon video. It's going to be out on the 21st of December. It's all about cats and his plasma moon. It's to me, I think it actually came out quite good, showing him to be the ignorant fool he actually is. Yeah. Let's see, the Jolly Man. Only if implying Newtonian gravity of masses attracting others, of which is no longer relative to do planets form. Even the woman interviewing him said, wow, and was shocked. He can't answer it. Exactly, because when she asked him, what is gravity, he said, oh, I don't know. Why is that? Because no one knows. It's a man-made fairy tale.
Showed that gravitational acceleration is the same for all objects. This contradicted Aristotle's belief that heavier objects have higher gravitational acceleration.
Huh. So Aristotle said heavier objects, which means it has more mass, would have a higher acceleration, which actually goes against their gravitational theory, does it not? Of mass attracting mass, because the mass, if greater, is supposed to have more attraction. Because that's what the so-called Cavendish is claimed to be by the anti-flat earthers. Is that not so? Hey, Arwen, I know what gravity is. Great, Arwen. So, guys, we have a claim. Arwen knows what gravity is. Would you please tell us what gravity is, kind sir? Because the rest of us are trying to figure it out. While we wait for Arwen, I'm going to carry on here.
Galileo postulated air resistance as the reason that objects with low density and a high surface area fall more slowly in an atmosphere.
Yeah, which makes sense. That's physics. Hence why when you have race cars, they actually make it aerodynamic for a reason. Yeah, so it definitely makes sense.
Galileo's work set the stage for the formulation of Newton's theory of gravity. In 1687, Sir Isaac Newton published Principia, which hypothesizes the inverse square law of universal gravitation.
Almost look like they're trying to show flat Earth here in space. Oh, wow.
In Newton's own words, I deduced that the forces which keep the planets in their orbs must be reciprocally as the squares of their distances from the centers about which they revolve.
So it's the distance which helps them to move, in other words. But remember, he had which he couldn't accept was the spooky distance at the spooky action at a distance. Hey Rob Keane, good to see you. Thank you for coming. Glad you could make it. Oh, Arwen, why you retract your message? I thought you were going to explain to us what gravity is. Hey Professor Bell. The greater mass does have more traction, but the acceleration remains the same. That makes so much sense, does it not? No, it doesn't, Professor Bell. Do you see the contradiction there? Michael, do you think he sees that contradiction? The greater mass does have more acceleration, more traction. So that means it will have a greater force. But acceleration remains the same. So that means it's not an attraction of mass. That means it's not a force.
Can I just say something,
Yeah.
Flatzoid? Looking forward to seeing you on FED tomorrow, Phil.
Yay!
Good luck.
Yeah. Oh, that's going to be great. Yeah, Phil, please do go on FED. Don't chicken out. If you guys haven't already, do subscribe to Nathan Oakley, 1980. Going to be a good show tomorrow. Oh, and gravity is in our minds. It's basically relative density bent into a ball, overlooking containment issues. That is 100% accurate, Arwen. That is actually just what gravity is. Pressure makes the world go round. That's about it. So they're taking what pressure mediation is and calling it gravity. But do you see what I'm saying, Michael? He says the greater mass does have more attraction. So that means it has more force. But the acceleration remains the same. That contradicts itself.
But gravity's not mass attracts mass, though, is it?
No, but this is in his mind. So I'm just explaining out of his...
But it can believe that all he wants, but
that's
I'm
not
pretty
gravity.
sure that we're supposed to be dealing with warping and bending and space-time or something stupid like that.
Yeah.
Not mass attracts mass.
I think you're going to
There's
enjoy
just
the
pointless
next...
argument.
I think you're going to enjoy the next video I got to say, where the guy explains it through general relativity, and he specifically literally says there's no gravity on Earth's surface. Nothing, nada. Yeah, so but we're going to get to that. But yeah, Professor Phil Bell, based on Newtonian gravity, which is shown wrong, remember, it's not a force, and it's a contradiction to say the greater masses have more attraction but accelerate at the same acceleration. Hey, Nabi Gas and Vacuum, thank you for coming. They posted potential answers. Potential answers. That's a good one. Yes, potential answers like potential energy. Specific gravity and relative density, the same thing. But Owen, the thing I think we got to get clear to the guys is relative density disequilibrium is not relative density, aka specific gravity. They're not the same thing. Relative density itself is only one part of the relative density disequilibrium. Professor Fulbal, you must think I have no self-respect if I think I would appear on the show with a host in such a atrocious manner. But didn't you say you're going on there? No, he's already running away. He's making excuses, Michael. That's sad. This is the problem we get from
No,
people.
it didn't say we're going on there, but it's being challenged to turn up on FED.
Yeah, but do you think he would ever...
He likes to hang around in chats with his stupid comments and skanking and that, so
Yeah, it's
why not
sad.
come and show us and tell us how we're all stupid? In fact, come in here now,
Yeah.
Phil, and tell us.
Phil, you got my Discord link. You can always come in and chat. You did ask me today if you want to come in sometime, so you're more than welcome to come explain this gravity. We are here, Michael and myself, and the rest of YouTube land. So yeah. Yes, let him get on the show, guys. You can even get help from your other peoples to help you. Our blogger can go hold your hand if you want to. Who else is there? What Globers is here to hold your hand? There's a lot of Globers who will hold your hand for. You're more than welcome to come in and talk gravity. Come on. Well, this is obviously the show about what is gravity. So come and teach us, since you are a professor. The professor should know what gravity
Well,
is.
from how he talks in comments, he's got big hands. He don't need nobody to hold him.
Mm-hmm. Remember, we are supposed to be ignorant fools while he's some very intelligent professor. So he should be able to easily come in and really dismantle us. They just say stuff and it is actually fits the definition of pathetic. Yeah, it is actually. It's like when they open their mouth, it just goes to the rubbish bin. Boop, boop. Okay, let's carry on.
And thereby
Well, while we're still waiting for Professor Phil, you can definitely come in, Phil. We're going to carry on.
I compared the force requisite to keep the moon in her orb with the force of gravity at the surface of the Earth, and found them answer pretty nearly.
So
Remember, guys, math is not reality. Math is a description, it's a language. Just because they put gravity into there does not make it reality. If you believe it to be reality because it's got an equation, it just means you've got a religious belief in math. So you are actually worshipping math, in other words.
Newton was deeply puzzled by how you can have something called, and which he coined the phrase, action at a distance. He wrote down the equation
Yeah.
that worked.
It worked. Guys, he wrote down an equation that worked. So therefore gravity exists. Therefore gravity is a force. Man.
He wrote down the equation.
Professor Fulbal, it's an empirical fact. The larger mass has greater attraction. The greater the mass, the greater the force. So Professor Phil Bell, are you coming into Discord to come and talk to us about gravity or not? Yes, math can be easily bent off gravity.
He said, one day I think we're going to find some way that they're connecting to each other, but I don't know what that is right now. But
I like saying the... Unfortunately, I can't show that. John Watts, I can't read that out there. Sorry. Well, Professor Phil Bell, not according to the current accepted theory of gravity. Yep. But remember, he's still stuck on Newtonian gravity, and he's a professor.
gravity is the curvature of space.
They love talking about the space fabric, but where is the so-called space fabric?
Gravity. Oh my gosh, is
Oh, and by the way, the space fabric is flat, guys. Just in case you thought.
it even a force then? Is it even... So there's no need to think of it as an action at a distance.
Newton's theory enjoyed its greatest success when it was used to predict the existence of Neptune based on motions of Uranus that could not be accounted for by the actions of other planets.
Or someone could have just actually observed it and then put that into the story that said the equation worked it out. Because remember, people have been looking at the stars and the sky for many, many millennia. So they would easily be able to see some kind of something. Professor Bell, organize a time other than 6 a.m. for me when my family is still asleep. You in chat now, you can easily come in. You don't have to talk loud. But okay, since it's 6 a.m. I understand. Maybe another time. It's amazing how he's always got excuses to come in.
That has to be the most pathetic excuse I've ever seen in my life.
But like I said, he's always
He's sat chat skanking and then claims he can't come and join us.
But it's always the same with him. I have my streams
Go
at
up
different
there,
times.
Phil.
I've had
Come
my
on.
streams at different times. He's had other excuses not to come in. So it's just
Sorry guys, I've only just got here. I fell asleep for a bit and I've just woke up and the show started. So
Hey, PJ.
sorry.
How's it going, dude?
Yeah, not too bad yourself, guys.
No, don't worry. We just got started actually. So
All right, is it not long started then? Excellent, brilliant. I can still join in. Fantastic. Sorry about that. I should have been here earlier. It's just I drifted off. I was tired.
PJ, do you not understand the gravity of the situation?
I understand the gravity of the situation. I think you should chastise me with a gravity type torture chamber. Like stick me in an earth-based vacuum, like all the natural vacuums in it. We get on natural Earth. Maybe stick me in one of them. Maybe
Yeah.
I don't have to talk rubbish sometimes, Dump stuff like rubbish.
Oh, well, it's good to have you here, PJ. Thank you for coming.
Love it.
Yeah.
Love it. Cool. So I need to get back on. I need to load up YouTube, obviously, because I'm only on Element at the minute. So I need to see what's going on picture-wise. So I'll put myself on mute and check out YouTube. Yeah.
Awesome. Shot, dude.
All right. Bless. Talk to you soon.
Sharp. Okay. Yes, Professor Phil Bell. Since you can't come in, would you just be able to give us a hypothesis then, a scientific hypothesis for gravity, please? Hey, astronomy. Thank you for coming in. I'm starting to doubt going back to the sphere. I think I've found other explanations for what I'm seeing in navigation. What? Okay. You can be more specific about that?
Is astronomy wise, Scott?
I'm starting to wonder if it's Weisskopf. I don't know. I don't know who astronomy is.
What is if that's you, Weisskopf? Put yes in chat.
You actually, now that you're saying it, I'm actually wondering if it was. Remember, because Weisskopf was a mod, and then all of a sudden this astronomy person was here, and I took the mod away. Remember, because I didn't trust them, because I didn't know who they are, and I was wondering how they got the moderation range.
I'd just like to know how you can go from knowing for a fact that Earth's flat to going back to a sphere and then trying to want to go back to it being flat again. It's Sounds like
And it's always about navigation.
Craziness.
And it's all about navigation. Have you realized that? Last time as well with
But it's
astronomy.
about navigation.
Yeah, last time with
can only
astronomy
work
it
in a
was also
flat
about
Earth.
navigation. And Weiskopf was just about navigation the whole time. Yes, it is Weiskopf. That makes sense. Astronomy, why don't you just say you were Weiskopf in the first instant when I unmodded you, dude? Would have made a much more sense to tell me you were Weiskopf, and I wouldn't have unwrenched you. That's why I said I didn't trust you, because I didn't understand how you got a wrench. But yeah, astronomy, Weiskopf, whatever your name is, you want to come in sometime and actually explain why you went back to the globe? It would be really interesting to see the information you came up with, if you want to. That's all I'm asking. Because then you can present your evidence for why it's a globe. Just asking. Let me know what you think. While you're deciding, I'm going to go on with the video.
However, a discrepancy in Mercury's orbit pointed out flaws in Newton's theory. By the end of the 19th century, it was known that its orbit showed slight perturbations that could not be accounted for entirely under Newton's theory. But all searches for another planet orbiting the Sun even closer than Mercury that would account for the perturbation had been fruitless.
So in other words, the equation wasn't 100% accurate. So it can work to a degree, but then doesn't work further out. So that shows it's not actually correct. It just shows it's just correlation based, not causation.
The issue was resolved in 1915 by Albert Einstein's new theory of general relativity, which accounted for the small discrepancy in Mercury's orbit.
Michael Kahn, I think Phil has gone. I haven't seen him now for a while. But yeah, Weiskopf again, if you do want to come in, you can more than welcome to come in and chat.
In general relativity, gravity is described by the geometry of space-time and the laws of physics. According to general relativity, gravity is not a force, but instead is caused by the curvation of space-time caused by matter.
There we go. So you heard it. Where can I join and share my screen? Do you maybe have Skype? Astronomy? Let's see if I can maybe do something like this. It will be great to have you in. See what your information was.
Is it going to cause problems if you have Element and Skype open?
Yeah, I was thinking that. It'd be nice to hear them. It'd be nice to hear them.
If he's going to jump in Skype, I'll just drop out Element.
I'm going to bring him in Element.
Alright.
Yeah. I'm going to try and send Element to him.
But if there is any kind of problems, just drop us out to see if it like sort of brings him in. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I'm gonna,
Yeah, cool.
I'm going to send him the link.
Yeah.
Element, and then Weiskopf, I'm sending it to your Discord.
Cool.
Weiskopf, because I see still Weiskopf on there at least.
Yeah.
Okay, I've sent you the link, Astronomy. Weiskopf, you can join there, then you can just quickly put Element up, and then you are able to come and share your screen. We could share screen in here, right? I'm sure we could. There was a way. Or the beta. There we go. Okay. Let's get back to the show, guys. While we wait for Weiskopf. Or Astronomy, or whatever his name is now. Okay. In Zoom. Zoom's not going to work with me because my Zoom doesn't work too well. It keeps on... having issues. Otherwise, Skype is the only other option, Weiskopf. But then, then we're going to have problems with Element then. But then it'll just mute, and then when he... Otherwise, guys, it would be fine if you can go into Skype, and then we'll just join back into Element when he's done. Will that be fine with you guys?
What, you talking about me, Michael?
Yeah. If you
I'll have to
dial it.
I'll have to. I've never really used Skype that much. I'll have to download it, and then you'll have to send me a link or whatever, however it works. So
Yeah,
I'll start downloading. I'll start downloading that now and see what happens.
Okay, sure. Then I'll just Yeah.
Why, what's up? Are you going to Skype?
Yeah, I'm going to try Skype. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just trying to find.
I've got it.
I'm trying to find out if Weiskopf can use Skype first. Otherwise, it's not going to help you.
You've got to download it and see what the quality is like. Like, I've got to do that now.
Cool. Yeah, so Weiskopf.
Put myself on mute.
Shot. So Weiskopf, is Skype fine for you? Let me know. Shot. Let's go on with the video so long.
Although Newton's theory has been superseded by Albert Einstein's general relativity,
Hey Leo, good to see you. Gravity is a dis. Yes, it's disinformation. It is a lie. It doesn't look. Definitely not true. Good to see you guys. If you haven't already, do subscribe to Level Earth Observer. There's really awesome videos debunking space and astronauts.
most modern gravitational calculations are still made using Newton's theory because it is simpler to work with and it gives sufficiently accurate results for most applications involving sufficiently small masses.
Yeah, gravity is a descriptor. It's just a description. It's math-based. It's not reality.
Speeds and energies.
Okay, let's see. Guys, Professor Ball just came up with a hypothesis. Hypothesis dropping a 1 kilogram and 10 kilogram bag, I'm gonna say it's bag of rocks from exactly the same height at exactly the same time will show that gravitational acceleration is independent of mass. No, that's not a hypothesis, first of all. What is your observed phenomena? Observed phenomena. Things falling. Okay. Cause of things falling. You are putting two different weights there and saying gravitational acceleration because of things falling. That is just a correlation based non-hypothesis, Professor Fulbell. Things fall or sink because they are denser. This can be scientifically validated. When you stick something in a medium that is denser than it will float or go up. If you stick it in a medium that is less dense than it will sink or fall. Therefore, it's the medium dependent. It's all got to do with density, not what you're calling because things fall, therefore mass has acceleration because of mass attracting mass. And that also goes against Einsteinian gravity, which is the current science, pseudoscience actually, for your globe. Yeah, you know it's fake because it looks so real. Okay, I'm still waiting to hear from Weiskopf. Don't know if he's trying to get on Skype or something.
Perhaps the most extreme example of gravity in the known universe is a supermassive black hole.
Yeah, remember when we went through the black hole thing on Sunday? What is a black hole? It's a fourth dimensional hole. It just supposedly sucks everything in. Again, how do you observe a black hole in 4 dimensions if you cannot observe a 4th dimension? So how can it be science if you can't even observe it?
From which nothing, not even light, can escape once past the black hole's event horizon. Supermassive black holes have masses that are more than 1 million suns together. Scientists
can try Skype. No idea what I'm doing on it, but we can try that. Okay, if you got Skype, let me know, then I'll just quickly try to search you up or something.
have found proof that
Otherwise, just type in, when you get to Skype, Flatzoid, then you should be able to give me a call.
every large galaxy contains a supermassive black hole at its center. The supermassive black hole at the center of the Milky Way galaxy is called Sagittarius A, and it has a mass equal to about 4 million suns.
I like how they working it out, they're calculating the stuff, and then they're just making so-called claims that it is that. It is epic CGI. It's very beautifully done, no doubt about that. But if they had to be honest and show the people what they actually so-called observed, you're not going to see anything. It's just going to be a black screen with a little so-called light warping.
Although mind-boggling, such extreme mass and gravity is incomprehensible to us. We are-
Quasars. Don't you guys love the quasars? Okay. Observe phenomena. Objects accelerate, okay, towards the ground at the same rate. Okay, objects accelerate towards the ground at the same rate. Cool. Independent variable. Mass of object. Independent variable, rate of acceleration. You can only have one independent variable, Phil. You cannot have two independent variables in a hypothesis and experiment. You have to create another hypothesis for them. And by the way, things falling at the same rate doesn't make it mass of an object. Everything has mass.
This is a problem, Flatzoid. I mean, he's a professor. He should have no trouble answering this, and it's two failed answers so far. Like,
Yeah, he doesn't prove to
It's
be
ridiculous.
a professor, is he? I think Weiskopf just tried to contact me on Skype, guys. Let's see. Maybe it will work still with you guys, yeah? Just gonna quickly see if it's him. I just said, is it Weiskopf? Yeah, it's Hey Weiskopf Astronomy. Okay, I'm gonna try and call him. Bing. Hey Weiskopf, how's it going?
Good. What's going on, man?
Oh, good yourself. Why did you just tell me you were Weiskopf in the beginning?
Shame, mostly.
No,
I don't know.
man.
I just kind of deleted my account, and
Oh, man.
yeah, here we are. But which I'm starting to regret, honestly, because the primary reason why I deleted my account to begin with, and all the videos I was making, is because I thought I had some pretty strong evidence for the globe. And I mean, it's still very strong evidence for the globe, but you could definitely argue from the flat earth perspective that it's just them using math and imposing math to make navigation work on a sphere. I'm pretty sure, and it correlates with a compass too, right? That was kind of the main thing that drove it home for me, is I'm able to see the sun set, and on a compass it'll read the exact, right down to the degree, where the sun is setting. But compasses are super sketchy. Like, I don't know if you've ever worked with one before. If there's any sort of like metal around it or any sort of little magnetic force, it totally throws the compass off. But the thing is, what I was just theorizing, and it's just a complete theory, but when there is that little bit of magnetic force there, what it does is it throws it off about 15 degrees, which is literally directly in line with what would be perfect on a flat earth map. It would literally change it, for my specific case where my sun's been setting for like the last month or so, it would literally be setting northwest as opposed to southwest.
Oh, so it changes the declination, in other words.
Something like that. It's super weird though, but I don't know. So that's why I just kind of deleted everything, and I was sure of it, right? But I'm starting to see, and just plotting it out on the flat map now, like I'm starting to see that it can still work on that same map. If you kind of have to get a little creative though, and like base things off of the equator, off of like a tangent from the equator, from wherever you're sitting. Like, you got to get a little creative. But I don't know, and that's kind of the main thing what I was just talking about in your chat there today, is I kind of miss working with flat earth. Even if it's completely wrong, I can accept that, and I'll be the first to tell you, like, I'll literally just disappear like I did if I find strong evidence that I'm wrong. But I mean, it still, in theory, works.
Yeah, but I mean, like I said, we're not just going to write you off just because you believe in a globe. I mean, you can believe in a triangle if you wanted to. But like I said, just next time, just say you were Weiskopf, and I would have taken your wrench away, because, like I said, I don't know who you are. I don't trust you, because all of a sudden I just got some glober there with a wrench. I'm like, I don't know where you got it from. That's what I said. I wouldn't have taken it away if I knew it was you.
Sure. If you want, I could share my screen. I could show you just kind of what it was that made me go back to Team Globe or whatever.
Great. Yeah, I want to see your screen. And by the way, dude, you can always come for a chat.
Cool. I don't know. Can you see my screen right now?
Oh, yeah. Google Earth.
You got Google Earth here? Okay, cool. So let me just get situated here. and the one thing that really did it for me was watching Jeranism plot these on his on the same thing here, Google Earth Pro, and he's like, why? He's like, north and south kind of makes sense, but it doesn't make any sense looking at like east and west, because you would think it would just go perfectly straight across from where you're at, but if you look, it like curves downwards. It's kind of it like curves, right? So he didn't quite understand like what's curving there, but that is just basically like our natural direction of east and west. And when you take this into account, you can literally track the sun from your location, and it'll set. I got all this shit all turned off here. Bear with me. Just let me put on the grid. So it'll set on it'll rise over here, like right on like 113 or so from my location right now. Yeah. It'll rise over here, and then it sets at like 247 or so. And it even, if you look at like the peak of this on the globe, it literally is like, you can see that there's a curvature in the way. So like things were just making sense. And not only that, but like I said, it's right down to the degree where it makes sense. But if you have any sort of magnetic declination or whatever comes into play, then all of a sudden this starts making a lot of sense. And the one example for me specifically that got me off of the flat Earth was Jim Smith, which I'm pretty sure it's just fucking McToon on another account. But Jim Smith was saying that this right here in a Melbourne sunset on this December solstice, so it's their summer, the sun rises southwest. Now, how the hell is that even possible on a flat Earth map if approximately, and I'm just kind of rough drawing this out, that this here is going to be your, what's it called?
Yeah.
The Tropic of Cancer. So if this is where the sun is traveling around on a flat map, he's like, how the hell is it even possible that the sun is going to come up southwest of Melbourne? That's bullshit. But if you bring in that little magnetic declination thing, and you got to be a little creative, this is where I was saying, this is due north, and then it would run a tangent straight off of the equator from wherever you are. It doesn't matter where you are, but it would just run a little tangent straight off of the equator, which Jeranism mentioned something to do with the equator as well. But if you run a tangent straight off of the equator, and then here's our route for the Australian summer, it's going to be a southwest sunrise. So it still makes perfectly sense. Perfect sense from a flat map.
Like you said, just change the observation angle. That's all.
Yeah.
I mean, I've even had where I showed the equinox on my channel, where it is 25 degrees off.
Yeah.
So it makes sense. But I mean, like you say, the flat Earth map that you're showing, the Gleason's one, it's not. I wouldn't say it's an accurate map. But I mean, it's the best thing flat Earth's got at the moment. You understand?
I would almost beg to differ that it's perfectly fine, and that this was the original map, and that this has been distorted into 3D. That's what I was arguing, just a little while ago.
Yeah.
This was just literally taking this map and stretching it out into 3 dimensions, which is why everything is elongated. Like Africa's long as shit, and everything. Australia gets stretched out, and like McToon said, it looks like a hamburger as opposed to like a hot dog, like it does here. So I mean, that's debatable completely, but so I don't know. It's to each their own. But that was really what got me off of Team Flat Earth is like, I'm able to track my sunset and sunrise perfectly. And it just didn't make sense on the flat map until just today when I started theorizing, like, hey, if this is where I'm located, everything is north up here, this is south. You still have general east and west right here. But then it could also be like, this could kind of be your declination, is just like a tangent from the equator as the equator goes around. So it's a pretty big leap. It's kind of a complete theory. But if you take something like that into account, it makes perfect sense with what a compass is going to read for you at that location.
Yeah. Sorry, Waskov, they're asking you, can you hear them in Element?
No, I just hear you.
No, they can only hear me.
Right.
Sorry, man.
I'll drop out and come into Skype.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, I'm in
No
a
worries.
call with him at the moment. And I see Lumpy Gas is in Discord as well. But thank you, Wasko, for bringing this. It's really interesting, because I was wondering what the information was when you said that.
Sure.
But yeah,
Sure.
so you would agree that it's still possible both ways, though?
Yeah. I mean, you need something like that, which no one's really presenting, right? So
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what you want to consider it as, but it would definitely take something that's is kind of out there. It's going to be something, a new kind of presentation, but it's theoretically possible, and it just takes something as simple as like drawing a tangent to the equator. And if magnets are coming into play, the center of the ball, or the roundness, or the whatever,
Yeah.
the center of it is going to be a very key point on it. So I mean, just in theory, if this is your location, everything's north here, you still have your general direction, but anything below a tangent of it could be considered south.
Yeah.
As opposed to, it wouldn't necessarily need to come below the east kind of straight 90 degree just to read south, right?
Yeah, because the magnetic fields could be the shifts throughout the year.
Something like that. Well, my theory, what I was going on with, is it's all happening regularly throughout the day, right? These are the way the housing system moves is literally identical to electromagnetic waves. So the way they go back and forth, and they kind of oscillate in perfect equilibrium. They only stretch out so far one way, they stretch out so far back the other way, and then they'll kind of move over a bit, but then it's perfect equilibrium as it moves through time. So like, it's really fascinating that something like that, and as you can see, moving through the day, kind of the center of the pole kind of rotates just throughout the day. So it's
That's
some
really
wild
interesting, yeah.
out there theories, man. But I don't claim to know things, but it's still possible if you really you got to get creative, though. That's for sure.
Yeah, but look, you're in the same
Flatzoid.
boat as the rest of us. We're still trying to figure everything out. It's not like everybody.
Flatzoid.
Yes, mister. What's going on?
Can you ask him if he knows that, like, does he know that water don't curve?
Yeah, Weiskopf. Michael's asking, do you know the water doesn't curve?
Well, from you know that from their theory, everything is from the center of the ball, right? So it doesn't matter where you are. This is going to be down. Where your location will be down, and
Always
gravity
tangent from
pulls
the
to the center.
But
So
we don't live on a
it
ball.
makes sense in their theory.
On their theory, yeah. But the problem is, if you look at their ball, the Nile River, how long is the Nile
Right.
River? And it's only flowing one way. So if you tangent at every point, the
I
water's
don't know
supposed
anything
to be
about the
flowing,
Nile River, but
the water's supposed to be flowing upwards at some points, and it's not. It flows only one direction. So that goes against the ball, though.
See,
I
ask him,
haven't
has he
looked
jumped
at,
in?
at all those specifics, so I couldn't tell you. But I mean, at the end of the day, at any point, I'm sure their argument would be, like, at any point on a river, like, that's still, gravity is right there at that point. It's also right here at this point. It's everywhere, and down is down to the center. So that's the only thing relevant, is where are you? Your gravity will be down, and up will be from right there. So if I'm over here, you and I don't have the same down. If you're over here in, like,
it's
Louisiana,
in New
we both
Zealand.
have a down that's in a different location.
That's how you need to have a word with him, man.
Yeah, it's
Right, and since we're so far, if I'm there and you're way over here somewhere, your down is completely different than mine, and my up is completely different than yours, right? My up is like this, and your up is like that. It's still holding you to the ball, though. Like, it still makes sense through their theory, but
would you mind if
No.
Weiskopf, would you mind if we add the other guys to the Skype call?
not.
Yeah, I mean, whatever you want, man. But as far as gravity goes, like, this is easily the best video that I've seen that shows it. This guy's not measuring it. It's not. He's not getting the. He probably could, but he's not doing any of the calculations for it. He's really just trying to display it. And when you fast forward, kind of when he speeds it up, because it's a very slow, steady, consistent pace. When he speeds it up here, you can see it really kind of drives home that point of it coming back. Yeah, right. You can see it right there when he sticks the thing in there. Boom, because that's kind of this green thing is just kind of showing their swing, the general swing of it when it's kind of sitting there in free motion. And then when he sticks the thing in there, boom, it doesn't even come back to where it's kind of in its natural state and flies back there, right?
Do you understand when he's not doing it in a vacuum though? Do you know gas moves freely through the two surfaces, and because it gets funneled through, like, you know, hydrostatics, it gets funneled through, it accelerates, and therefore it creates a low pressure system between the two surfaces, and that can suck it into each other.
I mean, I don't see how that vacuum's not really relevant for this. They've done it in vacuums though, and they all get the same kind of result, where you just have that. You just don't have the free swing. I like this better than an example in a vacuum where you won't have that motion. You just have to, like, it'll be just sitting there dead still, and then when you set in the object, it then will attract to it. I like this because it shows a free swing. It really drives the point home because it's in its natural kind of swing back and forth, and as soon as it starts to come back, he sticks it on there and it just goes bing. You can see that there is a force pulling to it. So I don't know.
But the thing is, gravity is not a force, so it's definitely not gravity though.
That's the whole debate of it, and I heard FTFE describe it well as gravity. How did he word it? Is something like it's the creates the force. The act of gravity kind of creates that force, and that's going to vary with whatever objects you have. Right, the two things are your independent variable. You've got the dV is the ball, the balls that come in, and then you've got the distance between them also as a dB. So I don't know. I just try to look at what I see, and to me this just clearly shows that there's an attracting force, but you could still take this and run with it from a flat earth perspective, which I was doing, is that this is like an aetherical attraction. It doesn't have to necessarily have anything to do with a downward vector or a downward acceleration. I like the idea that Witsit presents with the electrostatics, creating that downward vector, and then something like the electromagnetic grid that could very well be a non-physical dome. Doesn't need to be physical. It could be non-physical, literally moving electromagnetism throughout the day, pushing and creating and just kind of recycling the energy. Not only that, but literally giving energy for the sun and moon to rotate around. And it just, I like that. I'm a proponent of that total. So I don't know. I think you might be. I think I heard you say yesterday that you're kind of the proponent of the upward flat Earth that moves through space upward. I like the.
I'm nothing got to do with the Flat Earth Society. That's what I'm saying. I'm against the Flat Earth Society.
I thought I heard you say that yesterday or in one of your other streams where you were on board with that whole kind of ideology. Me personally, when I think of flat Earth, I think of it as it's on the ground floor of the universe basically, and everything is kind of above it, right? And I would consider this dome structure above it and a non-physical dome, and that's where, you know, even flat earthers, we all debate with each other as to exact things outside of it, but. Well, teach their own.
Sorry, Lumpy gets trying to say something. Sorry, Lumpy.
Oh, good. Finally. Hold on. We got a lot of stuff you said that just needs challenging. Hold on. What's electrostatics one? How's that affect? Hold on now. You made claims about a map that we have also. How do you associate a map with Earth? Of the whole Earth.
Can you hear him, Waskov?
Nope.
No, I just hear you on the call.
Sorry.
I mean, I've been chomping at the bit for a little bit, and I had to work out a techno.
Yeah, sorry, Lumpy. He can't
I didn't get my voice going.
He can't hear you on Skype, though.
If you had a question
there's
for
a
me
lot
or
of
something, I
stuff.
could probably
We need to do
answer
the,
it. It's not a big deal. I always jump
This
in.
seems to work from three different
Like I
platforms.
said, that was kind of the main reason that I
how are you
got
claiming
rid
to live on that?
of the whole all my videos and that is because there was no way to get a southwestern sunset or sunrise in Melbourne, Australia with this perspective.
You have an actual location.
But when you get a little creative and you just kind of create a tangent right off of the
you claim an actual
equator,
location
it makes sense, right?
Or is the sun apparent? Well, I mean, excuse me, but
Okay, I think we're having a bit of an issue go with all the Monty. Would you be able to hop into Discord quickly, Weiskopf?
Oh yeah, I could
Would
probably
be a
do
bit
that, man.
easier.
I'll get off this Skype here. It's kind of lagging on my side here
It'll be
too.
a bit
So
easier.
good talk though, man. I appreciate it.
Sure, thanks for presenting. Appreciate
no,
it.
I mean, you did a lot of stuff.
Okay,
We need to do.
sure. Sorry, Michael, you wanted to say something? Okay, sorry, Lumpy, I just invited Weiskopf into Discord. It's gonna be much easier.
Okay, good.
Yeah, because he can't hear anybody there, and Michael and PJ is in Element trying to talk. You're trying to talk. We're all talking over each other. We can't hear each other.
Yeah, I want it to be covered. It's important.
Yeah, because I see he's pushing the Ethereum rubbish, but
Yeah.
but again, I think he's,
It's kinda like
still new. He's still new into the flat.
It's like the
thing, so-
potential result of listening to Darren and Witsit and that, and then making an amalgamation and trying to contrast at the same time.
Yeah,
It's very convoluted.
yeah. So we're gonna have to try and explain to him. But like I said, that's because he's still new into the flat earth stuff, and that's probably why he was so easily swayed with McToon, and now all of a sudden trying to come back or whatever.
You're exactly right. You're 100% on with that statement.
But I like Weiskopf. Like I said, he's just still very new, so he's very unsure of things. So he's still trying to figure things out. And unfortunately, the main
He possibly
foundation he
is a
has-
real person.
Yeah, but the main, how can I say, influence he's got is unfortunately from the wrong people.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely. They're definitely the wrong people. And you're not, thank you, for helping to get that exposure. Absolutely important.
But like I
You
was
did
trying to
good work
explain to
there,
him
bud.
now with that Cavendish he just showed, does he know that when you put two surfaces by each other, air rushes through there and it causes a lower pressure system, and that's what makes it attract one another. It's hydrostatics. That's all it is. And then you get the people that's doing it in vacuums and stuff. I've seen it where it goes opposite way, where it doesn't give any results, and they always get inconsistent results. It's never very consistent. So
Yeah, it's not a.
yeah, Flat Seven. He works for McToon.
It's an effect that's been broadened into. They're trying to. You know how to. There's not a concise way to define it because it's so incoherent.
Yeah, but like I was saying to him when he got in now, because when he was all of a sudden named as astronomy on my site, on my chat about last weekend, and I saw it was modded. I was like, since when did I give a globe a mod? Because I didn't know, and he didn't tell me once he was just Weiskopf. It was so easy for him just to say, yeah, but it was me, Weiskopf, and I ended up taking the range away, and he started swearing at me and saying, yeah, just because I'm a glober, blah blah blah, you know, that kind of thing. So I'm very wary
Right.
on everything that the person presents, even flat earth. It doesn't matter, because it's so easy for them to act like flat earthers to make them look dumb. You understand?
Yes.
So I mean,
You really got to be careful about this. How information is being brought out, and you do wonderful. That's why.
yeah, thanks. But like I said, I'm not just gonna trust every Tom, Dick, and Harry that comes in. I'm usually a good judge of
You
character.
have an important job just turning things around. Michael's ace for sure. I can't think of every name here, but oh my gosh, he's a good one.
Yeah, no, definitely. Again, thank you everybody for coming. If you haven't already, please just hit that like button and share.
Yeah, I'm just going to say thank you, Lumpy. I love you, brother. I don't know if you can hear me.
Can you hear Michael? Rumpy?
Yep, I hear you.
Okay, cool. It's
Yeah,
just
man.
Skype that does
I love
it.
you, brother.
Thanks.
But what do you guys say about what he just tried to present now? Because I see he's not coming in Discord.
Well, my issues are he don't know any other flat earth arguments are out. Do you know what I mean? It's just sun don't come up there, so I'm gonna go back to being a baller.
Yeah, but
Don't add up to me.
he just said he looked that he can come back to being a flat earther. Not, but that's the thing. It doesn't help jumping ship every time you just find a counter
Yeah, but
argument.
you find truth. You don't go back to lies.
Yeah, but I mean,
Don't
like I
weigh
said,
up.
he's still. If we read this situation as naive, then we'd say, okay, he is very new to it, so he's just swayed very easily. But I mean,
why is he listening to anti-flat earthers? Like, why is he listening to FTFE
Because
and
the thing that was but the thing
instead
that
of
was a
looking into flat earth?
But the thing that was a red flag for me with him was all of a sudden he just deleted everything, and literally straight after that, McToon having an interview with him how he moved to the flat earth. You understand?
Yeah.
That's what to me is very odd, because why would they be doing an expose if he was really just like truth? I mean, let's just put it this way: if you found out like him and you just left the so-called flat earth or whatever, you're not gonna run to the anti-flat earth side and say, let's have an interview of me.
But
You're just
listen,
going to leave it.
in
Just
the
literally
most unlikely possibility that I were to go back to being a baller, I wouldn't hang around with them idiots.
Exactly,
I can
that's
assure
what
you.
I'm saying. I would just say, okay guys, sorry, this is what I found out, this is my reason, thank you for everything, and that's it. Then you won't ever hear from me again. You understand? Because that would be it. It's I don't know. It's a weird situation, and now it's almost seeming to me like he's playing the kind of middleman now to get information, to try and hook us with things for McToon. Because especially when he said now, I push the flat earth society model, where I specifically said I'm against it.
Yeah, I'd like to have a chat with him, but if he ain't coming back in, he ain't coming back in, is he?
So yeah, I'm grateful that he came and gave his so-called reason why he went to the globe, and then he said why it can still work on the flat earth, which is fine. But yeah, I don't even push that map or anything, so if they think they're going to get anything out of me making claims on it, they got another story coming.
They have to try and force these straw man things on us, don't they, so that we argue with them.
Yeah, by the way, guys, I'm still waiting for an apology from McToon. He still has not even tried to apologize. And it's been how long since we waited for him to give the measurements of that flask? Remember, he said it takes 2 minutes to do a little triangle with his calculations. Why isn't he?
Listen,
yeah,
it's like this with McToon, right? You don't say things to people like things about the wives, and you don't say things to people about the kids. And I've seen Toon all over the place doing exactly that. Saying things about people's kids, you'd abuse your kids and all, so you don't say them things. Do you know what I mean? You just don't.
I just said Maker Ray. Thank you, Maker Ray. Maker Ray says Flatzoid. That was Tim Osman. Really? I did not know that. He was neither new to flat earth, nor has he ever been a flat earther. He trolls flat earthers, and you fell right into it. No, I didn't fall into it. Why do you think I'm saying red flags? So it was Tim Osman, guys. So he was busy working for McToon. Well, apparently that's what Maker says.
Well, whether he is or he isn't, if he is working for McToon, it just shows you levels that Toon stoops to. So it shines Toon in a bad light, if I hope so.
Yeah, that's all it is. They're just showing their dishonesty. That's all it is showing, if it is that way.
I'll tell you something now, right? Toon knows Earth's flat, and so does Craig Fight the Flat Earth.
Yeah.
And all people who listen to him and follow him, you're stupid.
Yeah, that's true. Quickly talk amongst yourself. Give me 2 seconds. Just gotta go hot to the bathroom quickly.
There's Lumpy still there.
Also, it's the way that a lot
Can
of
you hear
people
me all right,
understand how to
Lumpy?
gather information is like it'll tune in with what Machine kind of says. So it's, and then it's how do you say it? They have a bias as well. So I mean, there might be some that if they actually heard the arguments, they'd be, you know, at least maybe hopefully question. I mean. I'm sorry.
Okay, I'm back. What did I miss?
I could hear Lumpy talking, but not right well, Flatzoid. I'm thinking I might just jump out of here and jump into Discord.
Okay. Do you guys want me to carry on with the presentation or what? Because I still got another video, the actual one I actually wanted to show.
Do that.
We've got sidetracked big time here, haven't we?
Yeah, we did.
I can't even remember what we were on about.
Yeah, I thought Wisecop would come back and we'd get into what he had to say and we could try to break it down.
But nothing. Probably just try to get us off the path of what we're trying to show you. I don't know.
Silly.
Okay, you guys ready? Then we can. I'm gonna carry on with the presentation. Again, thank you all for being here. Just thank you for all the support, and you guys are all awesome. Let's carry on.
Are more used to deal with the effects of gravity here on Earth, where gravity gives weight to physical objects.
You see, that's the problem they do, guys. They say gravity gives weight to certain objects. Gravitas means weight. That's all it is. It's a Latin word for weight. Now they're saying gravity gives weight to objects. It's not. It's the density that gives the weight, because you measure, how can I say, when you put it on a scale, it measures the pressure on that scale, and that's what gives its measurement. It's literally just the force of the object pressing on the scale. It's not gravity doing nothing. Gravity is not a force.
So matter tells space how to curve. Space tells matter how to move. It moves along the curvature of space.
Wow. So they speak to each other. I can hear someone's... Michael, can I put you in softer, mate?
It's me. It's me. I'm going to have to jump back out of Discord because it's all sketchy.
Okay. Shot, mate.
You don't need an action at a distance. There is no action. It can't do anything else but do that.
Huh.
It's like you have a funnel and you take a ball and you roll it on the funnel.
Yeah.
The ball can only do what that funnel tells it to do.
So in other words, he's equating space, this fabric, as a physical surface. Is that what he's saying? That looks like what he's saying to me. Hey, Watts, good to see you. Thank you for coming. Justin Franks, thank you for coming in. Yeah. It's very, very simple stuff, guys. They're saying gravity is a force, but in general relativity, it's not a force. So it cannot do anything, because F equals ma. Remember, you require force for mass to accelerate. If it's not a force, how do you have mass accelerating? Very simple stuff.
And it'll if you give it a sideways motion, it'll start spinning around. There's no
Fade to black. First, gravitas doesn't have anything about weight in the definition. It also has nothing to do with gravity. Gravitas, really. Did they recently change the what's name of gravitas? Did you guys see this? Check. All the definitions for gravitas. It's not to give weight anymore. There we go. Gravitas definition. Weight or heaviness. Gravitas. In seriousness and dignity, you might try to speak with gravitas, but it will take you seriously if you're wearing down makeup and giant floppy shoes. Gravitas is a Latin word that means weight or heaviness. Tell me again, Fade to Black, how it's not got anything to do with weight or heaviness. It came to mean a figurative weight after gravity acquired a primary scientific meaning. A biography of Abraham Lincoln will inevitably be full of gravitas. It means to have weight. So, again, it does have weight. That's what gravity means. Gravitas. Okay, back to the video.
Magic hand coming in there. It is following the curvature of its space-time continuum.
Whoa.
This construct that you provided for it.
Construct that you provided for it. I like that, guys. He's admitting it's just a construct.
So now, I can describe what gravity is doing. I even have a mechanism for it.
What mechanism do you for it? Do you have large funnels sitting around everywhere and making spheres roll around the funnels? No, you don't have a mechanism for it. You're literally making a fairy tale up and saying this is the way it works.
Are you going to still ask me why is there gravity?
No, I'm not saying why is there gravity. I'm saying what is gravity? Would you be able to explain what gravity is? Because you're not actually explaining what gravity is. You making claims that there's some kind of funnel that lets the masses move around. That's it. Debatable. Hey, good to see you. Flatzoid cherry picking a definition he likes, mixing languages and such. No, I didn't cherry pick anything. That's what gravitas means. It's the Latin word. I said that in the beginning, debatable, and I literally showed you now, validating what I said. Where's the cherry picking there? It's always been that.
Is that answer not fulfilling enough to you, even in the why department?
Yeah, what? Weight varies between solid, liquid, and gas many factors. Currents, temperatures, pressure gradient, state of matter, and density, type of equilibrium. Yeah, you know why that is? Pressure. The world moves around with pressure. Everything's got to do with pressure mediation. Yep. So what happens when you turn a solid into a liquid? They separate. What happens when it becomes a gas? It separates more. It's the pressure is the key here, guys. It's just all got to do with pressure. Yep. Into pressure, directional force, net force. Exactly what? It's just pressure. That's all it is. Zwarte kracht, heaviness, energy. Yeah, yeah, I know. But the guys don't understand Afrikaans. Yeah, Justin Franks, thank you for telling that to him. Okay, let's carry on.
You can say, well, why would a particle curve space? You can just keep doing that. That's fine.
Yeah, gravitas was a poetic term for weight. Gravity was taught as the cause for weight, which is bait and switch propaganda. That's actually well put. Maybe if they gave it another name, we wouldn't say what is gravity there.
But is there a point where you'll be satisfied with the answer? Oh, that answers my why. There's a point where it's not especially productive to continue to think about the world that way. I'm telling you, gravity really is the curvature of space and time.
So, he's saying, guys, gravity is really the curvature of space and time. So, it's not a force. So, Newton, force attracting force, force of mass attracting mass, is wrong. If Einstein is right, Newton is wrong. But then again, Einstein is also wrong because it's in a fourth dimension that doesn't exist. It's all mathematical worlds. You guys literally live in a mathematical reality. A mathematical reality that is actually just built on fantasy. So it's like you're in a computer simulation, in other words. You're in a computer game and you think it's real. That is called programming, indoctrination.
That gets us the Big Bang and or energy will curve the fabric of space and time.
One thing that also boggles my mind, guys, if this so-called Big Bang, it was just some kind of very dense, compressed matter, in the middle of nothing. Where did it come from in the middle of nothing? And then all of a sudden it just had an explosion of energy. How did it just decide to release this energy and just scatter the energy everywhere? Very odd stuff. Kind of like they're trying to replace God.
Why does matter and energy?
And if you say, oh, but why are you doing God? God is supernatural. We live in the natural world. He's above nature. A Big Bang still has to agree with nature. It's not supernatural. So when a Big Bang was created apparently out of nothing from a dance that just appeared out of nowhere, it violates nature. It violates the first law of thermodynamics.
Curve the fabric of space and time. Okay, that's a frontier.
Floating clouds in air, floating anvil in mercury, floating egg in water. Yeah, density. Hey Godzilla, goeiedag, goed om jou te zien. Glad je kan het maak. We don't know, and that's fine. At least you admit you don't know, Godzilla. That's a start.
We're still working on that.
The gravitational attraction of the
Yeah, centrifugal and centripetal are actual forces. They are fictitious forces based on actual forces. You require the actual force to create those fictitious forces. Like a merry-go-round, where it spins, it's got an actual force spinning it around. The fictitious force is that actual force trying to force you off of the merry-go-round. That's it. No one said it was created. Godzilla, where did the little dense mass come from? Where did it come from? Was it created or did it create itself? We're massacres. But it's good to see some Africans in the chat. Glad you could make it. Yeah. And also, thank you for being a member, Godzilla. Appreciate it. And all my other YouTube members, you guys are awesome. And my Patreon members as well. Without you guys' support, this channel wouldn't be where it is today. You guys are really, really helping me. And update on my microphone and webcam. It's still set for the 22nd. So we'll get you soon. Okay, 98 votes. What is gravity? I have no idea. 15%. I know, let me tell you, 53%. Gravity, what's that? 32%. So all the people that said, I know, let me tell you, would you be able to actually tell us, please? Because you guys are just not sticking to the let me tell you part. They're just saying, I know, but that's it. Science pretends water is space and magnetism is gravity. They usually hijack everything, Flat Sabbath. I mean, that's why they have Earth Curve, because it's a hijack of perspective. They hijack magnetism and call it gravity. They hijack the waters above and call it space. That's practically about it. That's why nothing makes sense in their world. Energy cannot be created nor destroyed. Exactly. First law of thermodynamics. It can only be transformed or transferred. That is it. You have to have energy to transfer the energy. Furfalbao, how do you know that God didn't create the circumstances for the Big Bang? How do I know that? Maybe because God wouldn't have to create something that contradicts what he does. God spoke, therefore it happened. Not God created a dense substance in nothing and caused it to violate the first law of nature of thermodynamics and explode from nothing. That's why. Do you understand? It goes against the first law of thermodynamics. Why would God create something that goes against the first law of thermodynamics? If it's nature, he creates nature to abound by natural laws. The Big Bang does not keep to those natural laws.
The original gaseous matter present in the universe caused it to begin coalescing and forming stars and caused the stars to group together into galaxies. So gravity is responsible for many of the large-scale structures in the universe.
You see what I'm saying? It's just fairy tale, guys. It's all gobbledygook. Okay, Fate to Black. Find one example on the vocabulary page that shows that it means the weight of an object and not the weight of an... Again, Fade Black. I've just told you straight what gravitas means. It's the Latin word for weight. You making claims that it means the weight of an object or the weight of a situation or whatever is your claim, your burden, not mine. Yeah. That's why it's called universe. Uni-one-verse speech. Interesting one. Hydrogen and helium escape ball Earth gravity. After billions of years, there shouldn't be any left. Also true, oh John. Rain clouds, yeah. I mean, the so-called universe is abundant in plasma. You know that. And what is plasma? It's ionized gas. What gas is there? Just take that for a gander.
Gravity has an infinite range, although its effects become weaker as objects get further away. Gravity is the weakest of the four fundamental interactions of physics, approximately 1,038 times weaker than the strong interaction.
Very weak, yeah. When God spoke things into existence, how did he not violate every law of physics? Again, God is supernatural, Phil. He is above nature. God said, "Let there be light," and there was light.
If Phil Bell's claiming God created Big Bang, Phil, God created the sun, moon, and stars on fourth day, and he created Earth on first day. Can you please explain how that fits heliocentrism, please?
Well, we did try to explain this to him a few times. Oh,
Man's an idiot.
I see. I didn't actually show this the video. Yeah, but yeah, Professor Phil Bell, maybe read Genesis and see when the sun and the stars were created.
1,036 times weaker than the electromagnetic force and 1,029 times weaker than the weak interaction. As a consequence, it has...
Justin Franks, yes, God is supernatural, so why couldn't he have created the Big Bang? Not that he didn't create the Big Bang. He didn't create the Big Bang. He said, "In the beginning was the Word, and God was the Word." You understand? Where did it say in the beginning there was a Big Bang? God creates natural law. Why would he create something that goes against the natural law? Do you get that, Justin Franks? The Big Bang was created by a Jesuit priest, George Lemaitre. As easy as that. Why? The Jesuits are opposite of God. They want to obscure God's word. You get it? Simple stuff.
no significant influence at the level of subatomic particles. In contrast, it is the dominant interaction at the macroscopic scale and is...
Godzilla, I'm going to tell you something. Who has more to gain? The person who died knowing there was a God and dies to find out there's nothing? Or the person not knowing God to die and find out there was a God? Who has more to lose? What takes more faith? To believe in a God or not to believe in a God? I'll leave that to you.
Is the cause of the formation, shape, and trajectory of every astronomical object. An open question is whether it is...
Hey, Derek Nelson, exactly. The Earth was made before the sun and moon and stars. It's opposite of the Big Bang. Exactly. The Big Bang says the stars and everything clustered before. Hence why even the Big Bang shows the sun happening before the Earth. On the level, hey, good to see you. Thank you for coming. There is a God, but not a false idol to worship.
It's possible to describe the small-scale interactions of gravity with the same framework as quantum mechanics. General relativity describes large-scale bulk properties, whereas quantum mechanics is the framework to describe the smallest-scale interactions of matter. Current models of particle physics imply that the earliest instance of gravity in the universe, possibly in the form of quantum gravity...
Quantum gravity, yeah. Superimposed gravity. Now they're going to have like quantum foam, guys. That's why they're pushing now entropic gravity. Hey, Jet Plane, good to see you. I always say that when looking through the legendary Nikon D900 stars and planets, in the Big Bang must have been pretty trippy. Yeah, must have been pretty trippy. Definitely if it existed though.
Supergravity, or a gravitational singularity, along with ordinary space and time, developed during the Planck epoch.
And by the way, guys, the Big Bang goes against gravity as well, because gravity is attraction of mass. So if it was all dense matter attracted to one another, let's say this was that dense matter, it's sitting here. Now gravity, yeah, gravity, it's attracting each other. It's already attracted to one another. What would now cause it to expand? That goes against what gravity teaches. Doesn't make sense. Okay.
Good point.
It's actually very simple stuff, because it goes opposite to what they teach with gravity. It's already as dense as it can be. It's already coalesced with gravity. Why would it need to separate?
To 10 to 43 seconds
So
after.
incoherent.
Sorry?
Sorry.
Yeah?
I was going to say it's so incoherent, it's hard to argue it.
There's so much problems with the Big Bang Theory. It's sad. I can't believe people actually put it in science books. Let's see. On the level says, bro, the because God said so is lame. There are natural laws. God isn't dumb. There are reasons for why things act the way they do. No, because God said so is not lame. God said, let there be light, and there was light. What's lame about it? It's like you're calling God a liar then. Fade to black. Flatzoids perspective. You're arguing or trying to dispute people who have studied this stuff for all their life. It's like someone arguing with you that a rattle can is a good way to paint a car. No, Fade to black. First of all, appealing to authority is not the way to go. We have all been indoctrinated to the same indoctrination system. We all used to love space. I mean, I used to be a big fan of space. Still like Star Wars. What do you mean trying to go against people that studied it? Just because they studied something, okay, indoctrinated to believe a certain thing, does not make it right. Remember, it's all math based, it's all equational based, and those equations are based on observations, but what they put in the equation is based on a belief. Let's take, for instance, like I was trying to explain with Archimedes' principle. It's simply the displacement of the pressure. That's all it is. They had ships working before gravity even came into existence, but yet today they use the equation with G in it.
Can I just address Phil Bell again?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Phil Bell says, Flatzoids perspective. How come God created the light before he created the sun? Could it be he was talking about the stars? No, Phil, because he created the stars on the fourth day. If you read the Bible, you'd know that.
Yeah, he literally said he created the stars on the fourth day. He first created...
Try again. Just because you're a professor, don't make you a theology scholar.
He created the light to separate the day from the light from the darkness. Then he created the sun and moon to rule the day and to rule the darkness with the stars in the sky. Does he even read his Bible? Probably not. Okay. Godzilla, what is so circular about my arguments?
After the Big Bang, possibly from a primeval state such as a false vacuum, quantum vacuum, or virtual particle in a currently unknown manner.
See what I mean? They're making so much dimensions out just because they cannot actually prove it to be true.
Attempts to develop a theory of gravity consistent with quantum mechanics, a quantum gravity theory, which would allow gravity to be united in a common mathematical framework or a theory of everything with the other three fundamental interactions of physics.
You see what he was just trying to explain, you guys? First, they create Newtonian gravity. They find flaws with it, so it is shown wrong. So they create something to try fix it, so it replaces it, it supersedes it, hence Einsteinian gravity. Now, Einsteinian gravity is being shown wrong thanks to quantum mechanics. So now they're trying to replace that with entropic gravity, and even that is showing some issues, so they're going to quantum gravity. Hence why they have such things like quantum foam and all that rubbish, because they keep on having to make a stronger superglue to keep their gravity bullshit alive. You would think they would learn after the first instance when it's been showed wrong, therefore it's wrong. But they still push it as science. That's called pseudoscience, guys.
Are a current area of research. A quantum theory of gravity would give us a much
Godzilla, you keep coming back to God with the excuse of supernatural. No, it's not an excuse of supernatural. That's what God means. To be supernatural. To be above nature. It's not circular reason. That's exactly what it means. Yes, what? Exactly what? Light comes from you. Fetish first. QM and quantum mechanics and general relativity. These two theories are known to be inconsistent with each other. They cannot both be correct. Stephen Hawking's A Brief History of Time. Yep. And it's the same said with Newtonian and Einsteinian together. It's the same. GR breaks Newtonian, just like QM breaks GR. Who showed Newton to be wrong? Einstein. Phil Bell, you're a professor. You should know this. We showed this before.
Phil Bell is no professor, I'm telling you that. Unless he got it off the back of the cornflakes box. Honestly, man.
Should we show what it says?
Ask him if he knows what superseded means.
Phil Bell, I'm sure you heard that. What does superseded mean? Einstein showed Newton was wrong about gravity. How did Einstein prove Newton wrong? How did Einstein disprove Isaac Newton? There's so many articles all saying the same thing. Same thing. Newton was wrong, says scientists, dismissing his theory. Newton's law of gravity was wrong, claim scientists. Newton 4 fails. Einstein's next. Scientists dismissed Newton's law. Mr. Phil Bell, is that good enough for you? Huh? Come on, guys. Really.
But you know what they say, Flats. You're not understanding what you're reading.
No, I'm cherry picking. You know what I find really odd with these guys? They always say, you don't understand. You don't know what you're talking about. But then we go and get actual backup to say what we're saying, to validate it. And then they just say, oh, no, then you're cherry picking. It's like,
all these people in chat, they're just pretending to be clever. They're just parroting wiki or whatever.
Yeah. Einstein
they're
himself,
not better than anybody else.
Watch this. Einstein himself
Earthers at least look into things.
Professor Fulwell says,
Sorry.
Einstein himself said he did not show Newton to be wrong. Oh, he said he felt sorry for him because of the information he had at the time, Professor. Not that he did not show him wrong. You might want to read the actual letters by Einstein. Just listening back to this now, I'm not sure, Tim guy, I'm Weiskopf. So you're not Tim Osman? Very interesting. But like I said, I don't actually know. Have you ever spoken to Tim Osman before, Michael? So I don't know how his voice sounds, because I've never spoken to him before.
No, I've not spoken to him either. Like, I've heard him when he's been on Nathan's, but
yeah,
you can't tell just off from his voice on the YouTube channel.
But a lot of speculation, so we don't know what's going on. It's really weird.
There's only one way around it, and that's get Weiskopf on video to prove he's not.
Probably. But also we can't really...
so it's easy to be done. If it's Tim Osman, then you'd know, wouldn't you, through
what he looks like. True.
Yeah.
That's also true.
It's simple to prove either way, really.
But then again, we can't really force someone to show their face, though.
Oh, no,
Citation
why
needed to
wouldn't-
show a letter where he said that.
I mean, I'm an ugly get, and I show my face.
Did this Tim Osmond die, Vaynant? I don't know. No, I don't want to sign up. Don't want to subscribe. Oh, might help if I show you guys what I'm looking at. Okay, I'm on a page here just seeing Nova. Einstein or Newton. The 200th anniversary of the death of Newton falls at this time. One's thoughts cannot but turn into shining spirit, who pointed out, as none before or after him did, the path of Western thought and research and practical construction. He was not only an inventor of a genius in respect of particular guiding methods, he also showed a unique mastery of the empirical material known in his time, and was marvelously inventive in special mathematical and physical demonstrations. For all these reasons, he deserves our deep veneration. He is, however, a yet more significant figure than his own mastery makes him, since he was placed by fate at a turning point in the world's intellectual development. This is brought home vividly to us when we recall that before Newton there was no comprehensive system of physical causality which could be in any way render the deeper characters of the world of concrete experience. Newton's aim. Newton's aim was to find the answer to the question, does there exist a simple rule by which the motion of the heavenly bodies of a planetary system can be completely calculated? If the state of motion of all these bodies at single moment is known, Kepler's empirical laws of the motion of the planets, based on Tycho Brahe's observations, were already insinuated and demanded an interpretation. These laws gave a complete answer to the question of how the planets moved around the Sun, elliptical orbit, equal areas described by the radius vector in equal periods, relation between semi-major, okay, just saying all that stuff. We read that already before. We just want to see where Newton, come on, what Einstein to say. Oh, I can't see what Einstein said, but this is more or less what I was saying. There we go. Let's see if we can find something that Einstein says. He said Newton is correct and matches general relativity. No, he did not say that, Professor Bell. He did not say that at all. That's an outright lie. Can you find me the letter where he said that, Professor Bell? Oh, wow. Let's see. But we'll get to the bottom of this. In classical mechanics, space and time were completed existences, which had to be presupposed as real in order to give meaning to the laws of motion. It was reality in the same sense as reality of matter, even governing the letter. In this sense, Kant was entirely wrong. Yeah, if you know, Kant actually also wrote Newtonian physics. Kant or Kant, I don't know how they pronounce it. What did Einstein think of Newton? Newton, forgive me. He wrote in his memoirs, you found the only way which in your age was just about possible for a man of highest thought and creative power. Ah, so that kind of validates what I've said, guys. What did I say before? Take that. So, Professor Bell, you can get your citation. There's mine. Thank you. Let's carry on.
Better picture of the nature of the universe, but for the moment, it still remains a physicist's dream. Thanks for watching.
Oh, it's a pleasure.
Did you?
Yeah, flat space, guys. This was the actual video I wanted to show you. But how are we going to get through this? Look at the time already. Check it out, it's already 20 past 10. But I'm sure we can go through it a bit. Guys, this guy is one of my new favorite physicist channels on YouTube. Definitely worth a watch.
Even with all our modern theories, the nature of gravity is still such a mystery to us.
Yep. Very, very big mystery, guys. I will find that quote from Einstein just for you. Thank you, Professor Fulbell. Thank you.
What is it?
What is it? I would like
Where does it come from?
Yeah, what is gravity? Where does it come from?
Unfortunately, if you ask YouTube these questions,
Ouch.
you're going to get some wrong answers.
Yep. And look who he keeps showing that give us these wrong answers, guys. Note this is a globe believer, just in case you don't know. Wow. Yeah, such selective reading and presumptive assumptions on what he actually meant. Should have worn facepalm protection. I literally gave you what I said he said, Godzilla, but okay, let's go.
Some very wrong answers.
Science Asylum, PBS. Whoopsie.
Namely, you're likely to come across an explanation
From Eugene, yeah. I usually watch Eugene stuff, it's very quite cool.
which purports that time dilation is the cause of gravity.
Nope. And what do we get from the anti-flat earthers these days? Time dilation causes gravity, because they're saying that is the curvature of space-time. Is that not true, guys? That's what we get from them?
Indeed, almost
Indeed,
as
yeah.
mysterious as the origins of gravity are the origins of this popular yet confoundingly
Yes.
incorrect explanation.
Asylum?
Where did it come
Ooh, yeah, more asylum.
from? What does it mean
Eugene?
exactly? And what can we learn about the actual
Yeah, because you see, the problem these guys have is they think this graph of so-called space and time actually curves. They said literally actually curves. You see? Now it shows a straight line, so therefore it's curving space-time.
This is dialect with
Brilliant. Guys, do go and subscribe to this guy's channel. He's really got some good things.
the true cause of gravity.
Yeah. Let's watch the true cause of gravity, guys. By the way, I'm not supporting gravity. This is just in support of trying to teach you guys your own religion. Yeah. He didn't say Newton was wrong. Just incompleted. I didn't say he said he was wrong, Godzilla. I said he could only do with what he had at the time. And that's what I said. But yes, he was wrong because he was wrong. And by the way, when you say something like, please forgive me, he wrote this more, you found the only way to which in your age was just about possible for man of highest. That means he's saying in very small words, I'm sorry, but you are wrong, but you could only get to this deduction based on what you had at the time. That's what that says. So yes, he is saying he's wrong, actually. Just in a very nice way. Really odd that a person would write to a dead person anyway. Hey PT, thank you for being here. Thank you for coming. Okay, let's go.
Understanding general relativity is no easy feat.
Definitely not. It's very, very rigorous. Okay, PJ Cruikshank. Sorry, I fell asleep again. No stress, PJ. Why don't you just go sleep, dude? Tomorrow's another day. Really, really don't worry, man.
I thought I were bad.
Yeah. Godzilla saying, no, that's my interpretation. What do you take of the interpretation of this, Michael? Newton forgive me, he wrote in his memoirs. You found the only way which in your age was just about possible for a man of highest thought and creative power. What do you find? What do you translate in that statement? Michael?
Sorry, man, I was just doing something. Can you read it out again?
Okay. Newton, please forgive me. He wrote in his memoirs, you found the only way which in your age was just about possible for a man of highest thought and creative power.
So yeah, he's not come to understanding in time is in with tools he's got.
Exactly. So in other words, he's saying he was wrong, and this is the reason he was wrong. That's what it practically says. Because he had only a limited resources, you could say. So he did the best he could with the resources he had. Or am I misrepresenting what he's saying there?
That's pretty much what it sounds like to me.
Hobo Dreyer, he says, I don't understand the formula of the ideal gas law. Weird as I've given presentations on the ideal gas law. Really odd. It's difficult to give presentations on something if you don't understand it. Really odd. Hey Moomin Rider, good to see you. Thank you for coming. I like how you guys like obfuscating from the subject we're talking about. Professor Bell, Newton was not wrong. Engineers use Newton's laws every day. Yes, Newton was wrong. Newton fails. Einstein next. Scientists dismiss Newton's laws. Newton's law of gravity was wrong, claims scientists. Newton was wrong, says scientists, dismissing his theory. Scientists dismiss Newton's theory of universal gravity. Scientists dismiss Newton's theory of gravity. Neil deGrasse Tyson revealed how Albert Einstein proved Isaac Newton's laws of motion and gravity wrong. How did Einstein prove Newton wrong? So tell me again, guys. Where does it say it did not prove it wrong? Remember, he broke the wand in two. He superseded.
But we're just dealing with idiots in chat with words or Flatzoid. They offer no evidence to back what they're saying up whatsoever. You're doing it live, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just ignore them.
And
Idiots.
we're still waiting for Phil Bell to bring that that page up where he said Newton was not wrong.
I want Phil Bell to prove he's a professor, because I've got a file full of comments from Phil Bell of it last year, where if I showed him to it every works, they'd sack him.
Yep.
Now I ain't gonna show him to where he works, like, but I'd very much doubt he's a professor.
Yeah, a professor.
And if he is a professor, he's a sad professor, because he's in more flat earth chats than me.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, why would he be if he was so right? Engineers.
Flat earth's so silly, but yet we're all here, all the time.
Yeah. Vaina,
You'll
Newton.
never see me on Toon's channel listening to his crap, or Fight the Flat Earth channel listening to his crap, because it's a load of crap. I don't believe in it.
The only time I really
Why
go
would
there
I
is,
go there?
the only time I go there is to get content sometimes, and that's about it. Otherwise, I don't hang around in the chats. Nothing. Vaynant, Newton's third law of motion is also not fully correct. Exactly, Vaynant, and we read that they said it's incorrect. Moomin Rider, engineers use dark matter when they run out of mortar. Good one. Professor Phil Bell, who said engineers are wrong? Remember, having the equations doesn't make it real. How much times did you say that? The equations is a description, it's a language describing. That's all it is. You don't need gravity in them. You can change it to pink unicorn farts and it will give exactly the same result. Just because it's called gravity does not make it gravity. PT, not wrong, just incomplete. Just an Einstein is incomplete because someone in the future will stand on their shoulders when they see a bit of... Again, guys, I literally showed you where they all said wrong, 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 wrong. Not incomplete, they would say was incomplete. They say wrong, falsified, disprove, shown wrong. very clear words. So you don't admit you're cherry picking. No, I'm not cherry picking. Must I go through every single citation now while I'm trying to show a video? I mean, it's already 10:30 at night. Come on, be reasonable here. The aim of the stream is not to go and show you guys what.
Anybody can go and download Einstein's work, Newton's work, and read it.
Yeah.
I've got Newton's on my computer. I've read most on it.
Even Newton himself.
Anybody can do it, like, you know what I mean?
But I mean, even Newton himself said he doesn't want to be ascribed to it. It's only CV boys that ascribed it to him after his death.
Listen, if saying black debunked globe Earth, all ballers had said black were white, mate.
Yep.
They're just pathetic.
Exactly. Hey, Face Reality, member for 2 months. Thank you very, very much. Really appreciate it. I really do appreciate everybody coming and being members. Ballers need gravity, otherwise no more space balls. Exactly. Those space testes are yummy for them, probably. Professor Bowell, the equations were created by Newton. In fact, Newton created the calculus. Yes, he did create the calculus, Professor Bowell. Thank you for something he's actually got right. Let's carry on. Because he was actually dead, so that's why I made it.
The central concept it relies upon, curvature, though mathematically well-defined, often eludes clear interpretation.
Yeah. Often eludes clear interpretation. Yeah, guys. I really want the Globers to pay attention to this video because it's literally straight in your face. Because if you won't listen to a flat earther who tells you this stuff, maybe you'll listen to a globe earther.
Indeed, nowhere is this more apparent than in a recent spate of YouTube videos.
Yep.
All of which erroneously attempt to attribute gravity and curvature to time dilation.
You guys just heard it. So what is the argument we get from the anti-flatter side? Time dilation causes curvature of space-time. That's what it's saying, and this is exactly what the guys on YouTube are pushing. Time dilation. What's the cause of gravity? Time dilation. Yeah, it's the mass attracting mass which causes the curvature of space-time because of time dilation. They literally think time bends space, guys. Hey, Seswell Cats, good to see you. Well, we do see both rocky and gas planets and the sun are all spheres. No, actually that's just your biased deduction on that you think it's a sphere and gaseous in a vacuum.
Gravity does not warp the flow of time, it's the other way around. The warping of time causes gravity.
See what you're saying? This is exactly what you're saying. This is the argument you guys give. I think you guys are learning from the wrong people.
That's what I'm going to show you right now.
The type of time dilation involved in that building experiment is called gravitational time dilation.
Can't prove the spheres may be circular at best. That's a good one, Phase Reality.
Not because it comes from gravity, but because it causes gravity. I know.
On the surface, these videos and their explanations seem pretty cool and convincing.
Bob is absolutely hack who threatened Flatzoid. Did he threaten me? Huh. Moving right, especially 93 million miles away. I wonder how many forms of Coriolis they have to account for in that case. Yeah, that's quite cool. Cool, let's have that as a debate. What do you want to debate? About the planets as spheres and plasma and stuff. Is that what you want to debate, the spheres, Professor? Mr. Baldycats? It's not much of a debate though. I can just show you a video where they have a flat cutout of the moon, a concave of the moon, a convex, and then a sphere, and you have to try to figure out which is which, and you wouldn't be able to see the difference. Because it's all just optical illusions. That's the debate over.
Each video starts out by noting that the further out you are from a gravitational mass, the faster clocks tick.
This causes the clocks near the Earth to run slower than clocks far away.
Yeah, time dilation, guys. Time dilation. Mr. Baldy Cat, sensible cats. But isn't Earth oblate? Is why we all other planets perfect spheres? Also a good point. Let's carry on.
For example, time passes more slowly.
No, Baldy Cat, there's no debate about it. I literally just showed you. I can show those things. It's all just based on how you see them, how you perceive the shapes to be. And even if there are so-called spheres, what's that got to do with Earth? Yes, I have great confidence, Dustin Bones, thank you. Usually a person has great confidence if they know they are not wrong. Yeah. Gravity warps level water within time. Yeah. So, Mr. Sensible, I really like to debate, but let's get a proper subject that's not going to just take 10 seconds. Would be really appreciated.
The closer you are to the Earth.
When charted out on a space-time diagram, this leads to a time gradient or temporal flow about a gravitational mass.
We have this sense of time flowing in a gradient. Faster streams distant from the Earth, slower streams near it.
And just like an object caught in a river.
Yeah, this is really interesting. You see, just like a cord, and then it's going to cause it to turn because it's linked apparently. Dust and Bones. Yeah.
With an eddying current, any smaller mass near the central one will be forced to rotate towards it.
Yep. Eddy currents. Sorry guys. I thought I saw something special here, but I don't know. I didn't miss any super chats, did I? No. Okay, it was just that. Let's go.
Meaning rotated out of the time direction and into the spatial direction.
Over time, it points more and more toward the Earth.
Or more and more towards the Earth, yeah. What? Helio loves gradients. They do love gradients. Derek Wilson, why do you change your name and start dripping on YouTube, Mr. Sensible? It was actually a channel given by Mr. Conspiracy Cats. That's why I think, yeah.
Parts of the object will want to move through time at different rates. Hence, we have the appearance of a gravitational attraction.
If you were like us, your first reaction upon hearing this explanation was probably, "Whoa, dude."
Yeah. Time refraction, Flat Sabbath. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, whoa, dude. Hectic stuff. But yeah. But you guys are going to hear why it's wrong.
Yeah. Whoa. That's freaking awesome. Mind-blowing.
Mind-blowing, yeah. Mind-blowing. Just awesome stuff. I want to go where it shows... what? It's just showing where it's saying wrong, wrong, wrong. Yeah, okay, let's get to this part. This is gonna be worth it.
Now, before we begin, we need to make some important distinctions.
Yeah, agreed. Remember, important distinctions. Guys, remember, he's trying to teach you gravity and general relativity. This is the pushed gravity today. So, no Newton force. There's nothing, Newton doesn't exist, remember? It's literally general relativity. That's the pushed so-called science today. So this is what you guys should be talking about. So maybe you learn something about this and you'll be able to have a more coherent argument on your own religion.
There are 3 different phenomena under consideration here. Curvature, gravity,
yeah,
and gravitational attraction.
Yes, they are different, by the way.
Now, in Newtonian physics, gravitational attraction and gravity are one and the same thing.
You see that, guys? Gravity is gravitational attraction with Newtonian physics because that means force. There's an attraction of masses between masses because of the force of gravity. Gravity is seen as the force that attracts the two masses.
Masses are the source of a gravitational force, gravity, which thereby causes gravitational attraction.
You guys heard that? So the gravity is it's force. So the mass is the cause. That's what causes it. That's apparently on Newtonian gravity.
Attraction. In general relativity, however, gravitational attraction is only an apparent phenomenon.
Only an apparent phenomena, guys. Remember, what does apparent mean? Not physical. It's only apparent.
It's fake.
It's fake. It's only an apparent attraction. So it's not actually attracting anything. It just appears to be so. It's fake.
Meanwhile, gravity and curvature become one and the same thing.
So that's why it's not compatible with Newtonian. Newtonian is gravity taking, you see what's fake, as actual. JR takes it and says that's fake. It's the curvature that is the reason with its gravity. Godzilla, I've always wondered in the FE model belief, is or isn't there an edge? And if so, where and why physical can't get there? Why are we talking about edges now? It's got nothing to do with this topic. Yeah. Sorry, phone dropped. It won't take 10 seconds. We can move on to other stuff as well. Anyway, off to bed. Okay, yeah, we'll email each other and we get to working out the topic, Mr. Sensible. Just have a good evening further. Lumpy gas. Flatzoid. The sky is blue because the sun electromagnetic. That is terrible. That is terrible. The Jolly Man is Witsit. I would bet my car I am right. I don't think Jolly Man is Witsit, no. I've seen Jolly Man and Witsit together in the same chat, so I'm not going to say that though. Although Jolly Man does push a lot of Witsit in his arguments, but like I said, I do respect everyone's arguments. Jolly Man is actually a very cool guy. Would love it if Witsit and them would actually come and back up their stuff though, instead of blocking me like cowards.
Where you have curvature, you have gravity.
See? What did we see with Newton, guys? The gravitational acceleration is gravity. General relativity, where you have curvature, you have gravity. Two opposite polar points, not the same thing.
Where you have no curvature, you have no gravity.
No curvature, no gravity. Remember, general relativity, guys.
And lastly, where you have accelerating frames of reference, you have apparent gravitational attraction.
Apparent. Remember the key word, you guys, apparent.
So the first important takeaway here is that this apparent gravitational attraction is not gravity.
So guys, when you do your so-called Cavendish and you see this apparent gravitational attraction, it's not gravity. So general relativity debunked the Cavendish. Sharp, thanks Einstein.
That is, it is not space-time curvature. Now, half of these videos don't understand whether they're trying to explain the cause of apparent gravitational attraction or the cause of actual gravity.
Yeah. You guys see the issue here yet? I hope you guys can. Michael, you still with me?
Yep.
Are you catching what I'm saying?
Say again?
Are you catching what I've been saying, what they're saying here?
Yeah.
It's quite a death blow to these guys. Because they don't actually understand. That's why I love this video so much, because it shows so much contradiction in the globe, guys.
They just want it all, don't they? They want all pie to eat.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So they can mix and match while debating and stuff. It's cheap tactics for them.
Yeah. No, but that's it. That's what I say. But if you realize the anti-flat earthers push this wrong notion of gravity, and that's why they see it as a so-called force.
Well, if anybody says to me and they're trying to argue mass attracting mass, I just walk away because they're talking rubbish.
Yeah, but that's what I said. That's why I'm bringing this up, because I'm also getting sick of it. Are you going to watch Artemis launch in about 6:30? No, I'm definitely not, because I'm going to be at work at that time, Professor Phil. It's like past 8 in the morning when I'm at work already, so I'm definitely not going to be able to watch it. And well, I don't think it's really going to happen, because it's probably going to happen something again, or it's going to explode. What do you guys think is going to happen, guys? Is Artemis going to explode, or is it just going to have complications and not take off again? No one's going to the moon.
My bet is it gets postponed again. But even if it does take off, so what?
Yeah.
It don't go anywhere.
Like I said, if it does take off, it's probably going to explode, or there's going to be complications that they can't make it to the moon.
But like if it does take off, where's it going? It's not going into space.
It's going into the ocean.
So it's not really. Phil's just trying to satisfy his own silly little beliefs with that comment.
I mean, Artemis has had how many years now to try and go to the moon, and yeah.
Come on, they've had 50 years to go back.
And think
there should be hotels and oil rigs and all sorts on the moon now.
Think about how difficult it's going to be for them to keep the lie alive if they do apparently put the narrative that they do land on the moon. How are they going to keep the so-called people showing, oh look, we are really on the moon? There's only so much you can do to fake something.
Well, look at how many people have got eye zoom cameras and good telescopes and that. You know, I mean, you've got to see them landing on the moon.
I mean, I was thinking, why waste so much money doing Artemis and stuff? Why didn't they just take the ISS? It's already almost there.
And just crash it on the moon.
And crash it on the moon and create the colony like that. It's going to work out much cheaper. They can just land it on the moon and build a colony from there. It's already inhabitable.
It's just, it's a pillock that they don't have to worry about, because they could postpone it for the next 10 years and ballers will still think that there's no hope with that. Do you know what I mean? It's simple minds that they're dealing with.
Yeah, I mean, but do you understand? Because what do they usually do? They're gonna destroy the so-called ISS when it's done at the time. Why? Why don't they just reuse it on the so-called moon then?
They already got half the base, so to say.
Yeah, it
Crash it onto the moon.
I mean, if I was like in that situation with him, and we had to decide what to do with the funds and stuff, you would try and find a cheaper source and an easier way to advance everything, as they put it. So what would one of those reasons be? Oh, ISS is up there. It's going to be out of commission soon. So why destroy it when we can just send it to the moon and have it already, because it's already set as a habitant capsule. So that's about it. Yeah, very, very weird. I'm just saying, it just doesn't make sense. These guys always have stories. So no, Artemis is not going to the moon. It's really simple stuff. Let's see. Godzilla says, typical flat earther shit. Even if it doesn't blow up, where's it going to go? No, it's not going to space, Godzilla. Ever heard of Project Nemo? Point Nemo. Do you know where Point Nemo is? Do you know what a spaceship graveyard that is? The moon is 400,000 kilometers away. No, it's not, Professor Bell. That's just based on your religion.
Do you know what makes me laugh? When ballers tell you things that we all learnt when we were ballers.
Yeah.
They're not learning us out new. We'll just walk up to the fact that we've been lied to.
Yep. I like this. Fortin says, ISS is not designed to land anywhere. No, really. You can equip it to be able to land there. You know, they take so much payloads apparently up there and just alter it so they can alter it to be able to land. Very simple stuff. It'll still work out much cheaper and easier compared to what they're trying to achieve. But then again, they have to keep them alive, the fantasy alive for the guys. They play with your emotions, guys. That's all they do. Okay, let's carry on.
I.e., space-time curvature. Being separate phenomena, these two concepts actually require separate explanations. And we'll
separate explanations, guys. See? Different causes.
We'll get to that later. But at the moment, this doesn't matter, because none of these videos succeed at explaining either phenomenon.
Will it be Apollo 13 2.0? That's what I'm saying, Flat Sabbath. We never know. What energy would the ISS use to get to the moon? I don't know. ISS is not really a thing, dude. And the moon's not really.
I can't believe that they're wanting to argue over our little pathetic story we've just made up.
Well, we're just saying it would be easier to do that than what they're pushing. Now they want me to try and work it out for them, as I'm some kind of globe savior or
After
something.
it's been to the moon, it's going to fill up on some moon dust, and then it's going to fly to Mars. Do a quick
Exactly.
circle around.
It's going to be a petrol station.
Saturn.
It's going to be a petrol station. I mean, literally think about it, guys. Why isn't there any media coverage already somewhere up in space? You would see media billboards and stuff saying, we're the first media group in space, so we can catch the Artemis flyby live as it goes to the moon. Why isn't that happening? You would think they would go and do something like that because they'd make so much money off of it. There's nothing going on like that because it can't happen. It's just fake.
If we really went to the moon in 1969, there'd be hotels on there by now.
Long ago. Long ago. I mean, everybody here is all about development and moving on, but yeah, where was the development on the moon? We rely on your knowledge and know-how. Thank you, Dustin Bones. Yes, I know he likes being sarcastic, but at least he's enjoying it. That's what counts.
Best thing about it is, even when I were a baller, I didn't believe in moon landings. I believed in space, but I didn't believe that it would landed on the moon.
I believed in the moon at some stage, but when you actually look into it, even before I was a flat earth as well, I saw, but there's some.
I don't know how you can look at that moon lander and think they actually went to the moon on that. It's ridiculous. It's stupid.
It looks like paper mache and tinfoil. Yeah.
Sometimes it looks like a washing machine.
It does actually.
Depends what view you have on it. Sometimes it looks like a cooker. Sometimes it looks like a washing machine.
But today we can't let such sophisticated technology and much better installations and everything cannot get the job done. But they could get it done with the things they had in 10 years. And note, they couldn't really test it, and when they did try to test anything, it crashed. But they got it right to work on the moon first time.
They're all wrong on all counts.
Oh, all wrong.
To see why,
guys.
let us first consider a uniform gravitational field.
Okay, now you guys have to pay attention, guys. Uniform gravitational field.
Now, the argument in all these videos hinges on the fact that time dilation gradients, that is, clocks ticking at different rates at different places, will
time dilation, plain and simple, different rates, different places,
cause different masses and objects to come together.
Oh. Yeah, what about the Van Allen belts, Flat Sabbath? Exactly. A Face Reality, thank you for your $5 super chat. Really appreciate it. Astronauts living in the ISS for months going 17,400 miles an hour non-stop. Yippee! No, they're definitely clowns.
And drinking recycled piss.
Yeah, that and coffee machines from poop. No. But that's true. I mean, try going on a roller coaster constantly.
Try having a pool while on a roller coaster.
No, really, it's insane that they actually think this is real. You have to how gullible do you have to be? I don't get it. I mean, it's different for somebody that hasn't come to the argument yet and found, okay, yeah, there's problems. Then it's fine because you've just been taught this, it's fine, you just accepted it. But it's different for these guys, it's actually in the argument. It just doesn't make sense how they can still be there. I would say it's psychotic, it's insane, insanity.
Remember, time passes at different rates in different places. The heights of the clocks don't have to be that different, though. Any difference will do.
Really?
So imagine
Any difference will do, you say? Okay.
we attach 2 clocks to a squirrel, one on his head and one on his feet. They should tick at different rates, too.
They always look clean. Clean clothes, well shaven. True, Brian, true. You know, almost like they get ready for a show, for a production. Weird. Operator Full Bell. They did not get it right the first time. There were 17 Apollo launches and only 6 landings with humans. I'm talking about when they landed the first time with Neil Armstrong in them. They got it to land properly the first time. They crashed.
I'm going to say what Phil's saying there is rubbish because it was the first attempt.
That's what I'm saying. Remember, they practiced on Earth, hence why they kept crashing it. They couldn't get the LRV to work on Earth, but they had to go based on the time constraint, and then all of a sudden they just got it working on the moon. First time.
Phil doesn't know his own rhetoric, man.
He doesn't. I mean, this whole stream he's been showing he doesn't know anything.
It's stupid.
Yep. Andrew Johnson, at least the urine they drink is recycled. But then they want to make fun of people like what's a guy, that flat earther that drinks his piss. Can't remember his name. But anyway, yeah.
The squirrel's head moves faster through time than his feet. This gradually turns his motion arrow.
So it's warping him, guys. That's what they're saying.
The squirrel falls to the ground simply because time dilation exists.
Now, a uniform gravitational field has a time dilation gradient. And
remember, guys, this is based on general relativity. This is the thing you guys are supposed to be pushing.
certainly, at a place like near the surface of the Earth, where the gravitational field is essentially uniform, objects seem to be drawn together.
Guys, do pay attention now, because this is a really, really, really important part.
So, all good, right? Nope. Why? Because the equivalence principle.
Woo! I wonder if these guys even know what the equivalence principle is.
The equivalence principle tells us that a uniform gravitational field is actually just an accelerating frame of reference.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Imagine being on a rocket ship in...
So in other words, it's just the movement, you are in the inertial frame of reference.
outer space, undergoing constant acceleration.
Sorry, the non-inertial.
According to your perspective, there arises a uniform gravitational field filling all of space, causing clocks that are further and further out from you to tick faster and faster. Now, imagine coming to rest.
Oh, what happens when you come to rest? Dave Murphy. That's the name. Thank you, Bendros. Dave Murphy. I was thinking of the name. If you guys like the emojis, you know what to do. It's one of the perks of being a member. It's a sad globe, a ghost globe, a heart globe, a laughing globe, a clown globe, a monkey globe, and a poop globe. I like the poop globe. That's my favorite one. And the ghost globe. Yeah, clocks tick for me fast.
Suddenly, all those clocks resume ticking at the same rates, and the time dilation gradient abruptly vanishes.
Oh, so when you stop moving, then it doesn't have any time dilation. That's what they're saying, guys. Because it's only apparent, it's not actual.
If we accept the explanation purported by these videos that time dilation gradients are the cause of gravity, this would mean every time you accelerated, you would be inducing gravity.
You get it, guys? So when you're in a car and you put your petrol on the foot, you are inducing gravity. In other words, you are causing gravity. That's what they are saying.
That is, inducing space-time curvature, not only in your immediate vicinity, but across the entirety of the universe.
Woo!
Curvature which would vanish as soon as you stopped accelerating.
Flatzoid, yep, exactly.
This is patently absurd, of course. Space-time curvature is not an observer-dependent phenomenon.
Ow! So where is the scientific, guys? It's not observer dependent, so you cannot observe the curvature of space. You cannot observe gravity. So tell me again how you guys have science for gravity if you cannot even observe it.
It is something that, according to the theory of general relativity, all observers will agree upon.
Brian, Globus somehow think it's ridiculous to think all the lunar landing videos look fake. And reasonable person will say they look fake. Yep, because they are fake. It's been shown to be fake many times. We actually need to adjust clocks on satellites. Satellites are where, Professor Phil? What are you talking about? You talking about cesium clocks? No. You just don't have satellites in space, Phil. Where are these so-called satellites?
No matter what their frame of reference. And a uniform gravitational field, in fact, has zero curvature.
Uh-oh. Zero curvature means no gravity, guys.
Because there is no gravity there.
See what I mean? He literally says it out.
It's just an accelerated frame of reference.
And what is Earth said to be doing? Accelerating. So Earth is just an accelerated frame of reference, therefore no gravity.
All right, let's return to the surface of the Earth.
Pay attention now.
You're
please.
probably...
Please do... yeah, before we go on, because this is going to be quite hectic for the people. If you haven't already, please just like the show, share it for everybody. Oh, it's already 11 o'clock. I don't know, should we go on with this tomorrow or something?
Yeah, continue it tomorrow because I need to get off really.
Yeah, me too. Sorry guys, I think we're going to end it here. We remember 11:11. What a number. So I think we'll check. It's 11:11, guys, just to make sure. The true cause of going in general relativity. I think we'll carry this on tomorrow because it is kind of late. So what does the poll say before we close? What is gravity? 125 votes. I have no idea. 13%. I know. Let me tell you, 54%, and I haven't had one person actually telling me. So the people that clicked on there lied because they are not telling me how it is. And gravity, what's that? 33%. Ooh, the Masons. So yeah, thank you all for being here. Really do appreciate you coming tonight. Tomorrow we're going to go on. We can go on with this as well because tomorrow night I also want to present a new guide to Flat Earth with, yeah, you probably saw my short video today. It's going to be on that as well. So I think we'll carry on with this tomorrow and we'll show that video of that guy trying to debunk Flat Earth using the rocket and light. So thank you all for coming. Really do appreciate you being here. If you haven't already, just hit that like button and push. Thanks Weiskopf. Thanks everybody for being here. You guys are all awesome. Before I forget, there we go. Till tomorrow. God bless. Enjoy evening and don't forget, may the pressure be with you.